Good morning. Welcome to Paradise Now, Dialogues with the Mother. My name is Sanda Davis, and I'll be your host today and for many shows to come. I have in studio today Jill Michel, author and great friend of the angels, right? Jill is living with the angels every second of the day, and she'll tell you many things about the angels. Just know that this is a time when you can trust the angels and call them for help, because they're here to help you, guide you. And at this time we have angels from the highest place, angels that can guide you to the levels that are the most appropriate for your own evolution, and who will connect you to the true God, which is very important at this time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so anybody who misses the target and who think that the one that they choose is the one, God is not elected, God is, right? So, Jill, tell us about your experience with the angels.
Well, I've been speaking to angels since I was a young child, and then in the middle years, I lost that connection due to negativity that was happening in my life. And then about 15 years ago, I learned again who my guardian angel was, as he pulled me safely from a horse accident. And I didn't get killed or maimed because it wasn't my time. And that's when I started to really decide to really connect, because when I felt him pulling me forward, it was so much love coming through. I just really wanted to start connecting with him more. And then he introduced me to all the other angels. Yeah, so I went through a lot of time where I, released the negativity and things that had happened, in my childhood and beyond. And so I could have that clear connection, because that's so important, to not have the angelic messages stuck in the static, which is like the negativity. So clearing is very important to be able to hear the angels clearly.
Well, that made it necessary for you to improve things for you.
Definitely.
Immediately.
Absolutely.
Like,
yes.
you want them to help you, you have to improve really fast, kind of make room for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they've helped me so much in my life.
I was listening to you, and I'm looking at how you work. I saw how loving are the people that come to your book presentations. Like, I met you at the bookstore, and I thought, I have to have you on my show. And you create an atmosphere of love, and you're tuned in, so you do wonderfully that way. And now I was listening to you and wondering, could it be, other than the angels are here to help everybody, could it be that actually the angels are training you for something more important than meets the eye?
I have that strong feeling, definitely.
That's my, because from what I know, the angels can guide everybody towards their path and can help them, because they are messengers. They are messengers that have the light of God and that are in touch with the true God. So they would know how to, and they are empowered to do everything good. Right now, one good thing is that every empowerment comes only for what is good.
Absolutely.
So anybody tries to help you to do something that's not good, they will not get the power. Power is conditional on being good. So as you relate to the angels, you must start to ask them if they're ready to tell you. Because when you have thousands of angels around you, it's more than the parking spot that we were talking about a few moments ago. See? It's good that they care for your parking. So, in your experience, the range of tasks that the angels can take is huge, from the smallest to the largest task, right? But what does it take, from what you understand, what does it take for people to relate with the angels? So you're saying cleansing.
Definitely cleansing and meditation.
Meditation.
Clearing your mind so that you can hear the delicate voices of the angels coming in. I ask all kinds of things. You know, I say, so what can you tell me today?
That's nice.
And they'll tell me. But they do say something big is coming, definitely. And I feel that, and I feel that they've been guiding me all this time to whatever it is that's coming, my life purpose, if you want to call it that. Because they've taken me on all kinds of excursions, you know, out in the dark. Don't try this at home, but in the dark, going on pathways, and just feeling what it's like to not have sight, because then the angels can really speak so much more clearly when, you know, the sight takes a lot of I don't know, it's very distracting, you know, as you're walking through the park with with your sight, but when it's dark and you can't see anything except the next step in front of you, it was very empowering, because I had to trust the angels fully. Like, they teach me how to follow them with trust and faith alone.
And what kind of things are they teaching you?
Where do I start? How to help people, mostly. They want me out there helping people so that they can help their families, so that their families can help their friends, and it just spreads, you know, the reverberations through the universe when people do good things and relate to each other in positive and helpful ways instead of, you know, destructive, negative ways. So a lot of the work I do is teaching people how to conduct themselves in truth and in love and in light. And that's huge.
Oh, yeah. And vital, too. It cannot be done otherwise.
And to uncover their true identity, which is their piece of the puzzle. I'll call it, like I call it the piece of the puzzle. God has this, you know, everybody's got a piece of the puzzle in God's plan. And to uncover your true identity, which is cleansing all the negativity, because the true identity is just pure light and pure love, and then fulfilling that portion of God's
plan. And know
plan.
that everybody has a human name, but everybody has a name of a different level as well. A spiritual name. Those who are sent to divine levels, they have their divine designations. So talking about identity, it has to do with who you are, what you do, and what you need to do. What is your role there? Because if you are a teacher, that's a larger class, but which teacher are you? What do you teach?
And I think, I think a lot of people don't ever come to their potential, unfortunately, because they are not open necessarily to the angelic realm. So it is really important to start following your path.
And this is it. I found it very timely that I met you, and very timely to have you speak to people, because at this time the gates have opened, including the paradise gate of identity. You're talking about identity being important. There's a gate, the first gate to the internal paradise is a gate of identity. So, and you're talking that people being closed for 12,000 years, they're locked in. It's not their fault, but they're locked in by a system that didn't let them advance. And now that we stopped the system that was blocking them, now we say, okay, now come out, and you have helpers, colonial angels, they'll help you. We have to make up for the lost time.
Absolutely, yes.
And the angels are saying, what about this time now? What's the big deal that they announce?
It's a time of monumental change.
Yes.
And people can move forward so much faster now than they ever could. They say in a year of this lifetime, you can learn as much as you did in 20 lifetimes before.
Yes, also because knowledge becomes available, you are in a better state because you are not blocked and you are held by angels. So remember your angels. We'll talk after the commercial break.
ਨਵਿਆਂ ਵਰਗਾ ਜੂ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲਸ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਰੇ ਟਾਇਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਔਨ ਦਾ ਸਪਾਟ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ, ਨੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ, ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜਸਪਾਲ ਮਾਨ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 4168195152 ਜਾਂ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਧੁੱਗਾ 9054520111। ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲ ਸੈਂਟਰ।
Float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea. Long way from home, on the boulevard of...
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Hello again. We have Jill Michelle in studio, author of a beautiful book about angels.
Thank you.
Yeah. And today, as not only in season, but it's timely in tune with the change that's happening in the world right now, we're talking about the angels. So you're mentioning the fact that the angels call you to do specific work, guide you, and you'd like to encourage people to know that the angels can guide them. Not only help them, teach them, protect them, but guide them towards their purpose, their identity. And so I would like to hear about that. And I'm sure that the viewers would like to know how can the angels help them to find their way.
Well, what they can do is just, first of all, know always that they're never alone. People have angels around them all the time. They have their guardian angels that are with them from like before conception to the end of their life. And also the teaching angels that come in. There's a revolving door of teaching angels that come in all the time throughout life. They'll come and teach a certain message or learning that the person needs to learn, and then they'll go off and another group of angels will come in. So there's always lots of angels around every person. And all you need to do is ask and just say, please help me to feel happier, find like-minded people. And nothing's too small and nothing's too big for the angels. So just ask and you shall receive. When you ask, they have to deliver. So it's.
And tell us about some things that you've asked.
I've asked for a lot of things.
Oh,
What I do is I'll put a manifestation list together. When I wanted my horse, for instance, I wrote down all the things that I wanted. And then I just let it sit there, and it actually sat there for probably at least a year before I was called to see a horse. And I didn't think he was the right one at all, but they kept saying, no, this is the right one. And he didn't seem right at all at first, but as I've had him for 10 years now, and he is absolutely the perfect horse. He is so in tune with me and with the universe and with Mother Earth. He's amazing. So it's, and if it was, up to my own mind to have figured it out, I would have said, No, because he was trying to step on my foot, you know. He was very naughty at first. So this
He was
things
trying
like
to
that.
show you who is boss?
Yes, yes.
And what did you have to do? Say, no, no,
I
no,
said, no,
you're
no,
not.
no, I'm the boss. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And it's a dream come true, right?
Absolutely.
See, if you had a television set on your huge natural in your huge natural environment, you'd watch Heartland. Did you watch Heartland?
I've seen it once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once, yeah. It's a dream.
It was
you
a
are
beautiful
living
show.
Yeah, you are
Yes.
living the Heartland
Yes.
dream. Yes, beautiful. Yeah, it's
I find horses are very spiritual.
absolutely.
Yeah, they have that energy that is so just all-encompassing. You feel just this amazing earth groundedness when I'm around the horses, and it's very refreshing. It's just like, because I can be off, having a bad day or whatever, and I go up to the horse and I go, I feel good.
Wonderful. And what else did you ask? So you asked for the horse. You got the right horse. What else did you get?
Well, mostly I ask for my own journey, to become a better person, to become a person who can help others, give good service to other people. And that's really what they bring me most. Because that's very important to me. I feel that is my purpose, to be of help to other people, to the world, to Mother Earth, to the universe in general. It's a very important work. And I do that, one-on-one, and I do that in workshops as well, teaching people how to connect with their angels. Because a lot of people think, and as I did too when I was younger, I thought, oh, God is out there somewhere, not sure where.
In your bedroom.
But I felt that the angels were within reaching, just grab out and reach. Now I know that God is as well, but for
Now
a long
that
time.
I said that God is in your bedroom, I was actually making reference at the omnipresence. Being everywhere means everywhere. But the respect for your personal space is there. That's why you have to ask.
Right.
Because God being in your bedroom, if I should describe it this way, God would look through the window outside, would look at some family picture, would not look to see if you cover yourself or if you don't cover yourself. The personal space in every way, visual, auditory, the personal space is personal space. It's paying attention when the prayer comes. That's why it's important to pray. It's like, oh, God should know. Well, God is not listening to everything because you have your room to change your mind, to say a horrible thing that God shouldn't hear, and you'll have to repent for that before God can hear your words. But when you address through prayer, reference. So the God that's everywhere does not look at what you do privately. That's why it's important, like you say, ask, and it shall be answered, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Or asking shall be given, yeah. So, as you figured out that God is everywhere, or God is with you all the time, now what do you do? Who do you talk with? Angels? God? Who?
Everybody. Angels, archangels, God, Divine Mother, Jesus, Holy Spirit. I'll just the Holy Spirit
Yes,
really comes
all
a
of
lot.
them.
Well, it depends what I'm doing. If I'm trying to help somebody cut negative cords to a past negative relationship, then Archangel Michael comes to do that. If somebody needs love, then Archangel Ariel will come with her beautiful pink healing love. If they need healing, then the Holy Spirit will come through, and I'll just see His light coming and helping the person to feel better, emotionally or whatever it is that needs to be healed. God has come to do a few readings, just a little bit, like just a few words, and then, then the angels
We have
replace
to
it.
keep the proportions.
Yeah. It's just like, whoa, God is here. But, most of the time, it's the
Tell us,
angels.
when God is here and the angels go, oh, God is here.
It's like,
How, how do the angels change their behavior? What do they do?
Oh, they just suddenly sit up straight, and it's like,
okay.
It's like, okay, our boss is here. So they're, yeah. But most of the time, I do the sessions with the people's angels. The people's angels telling them what the angels want to help the person with.
So you found that it's important to help people to actually become able to hear the angels.
Yes, definitely, because they need that personal relationship.
And
It makes them feel like they belong on Earth. A lot of people are going around in the world thinking, I just really don't feel like I fit in, or I don't belong. And when you start connecting with your angels, you start realizing, yes, I have a purpose. I am here for a reason. There's certain things in this lifetime that I need to do. And then you start really following along your path. And you don't fall off it like, a lot of people kind of go, oh, I think I'll take a break for a while. I'll just, and there's nothing is ever wrong or right. They'll just kind of finish. Maybe if somebody makes a decision that isn't so great, they'll kind of go around in a circle off their path and then back on again, and then they're given the chance again to move forward.
You've just described the cosmic clock. You go around, and while you go up, it feels wonderful. But then when you go down, you realize up again. So good thing that it is round. But it's only so many times you can go around. Times you have to get, okay, I have to figure out in the 11th hour how to fix things. Follow one of the shows to come will be on the cosmic clock. But see how intuitively you're describing just that. You'll go around. So after the break, we'll talk more about what you have to share with people about the angels.
Okay, great.
ਨਵਿਆਂ ਵਰਗਾ ਜੂ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲਸ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਰੇ ਟਾਇਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਔਨ ਦਾ ਸਪਾਟ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ, ਨੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ, ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜਸਪਾਲ ਮਾਨ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 4168195152 ਜਾਂ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਧੁੱਗਾ 9054520111। ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲ ਸੈਂਟਰ।
Float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea. Long way from home, on the boulevard of
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Well, glad that you are with us today. Jill Michelle, author of a book about angels, will talk to you about angels. We are talking about major points in the relationship with angels these days. So,
I was telling you before about how I get called to certain areas to clear the negativity from the land. Whenever there's been negative things happening, there will be, it gets embedded into the land. And so they'll call me to certain areas, and I'll have to meditate and just clear the land and put good energy into the land. And this is what the angels are they're very dedicated to helping to clear negativity, not only from people, like your personal angels want to help you with clearing your negative energy, but also with the land and with the Mother Earth to allow her to be free of human negativity, which
Yeah, that helps.
that helps. So that's a very important part of what I do. And it's just so wonderful that they'll come to me in the morning and say, "Can you go to such and such a place and Wasaga Beach?" You know, sometimes it's called up there, and different areas in and around closer to where I live, and even in Tofino, asked to go there, and just a lot of different places. And it feels so good once the end, because I go in there and I feel like the, darkness, negativity, whatever you want to call it, and then when I'm finished, it's like, and it's not me. I just channel the vibration of the angels through and help, because they need people on Earth to do their work. They can't just come and do it. They need us to help them.
So they also need people to be in a receptive state. People ask for help, and they say, "I asked and I didn't receive." Well, when you ask, you have to be open to have the ability to perceive.
A lot of people, and to me, it's like the gratefulness opens you up to receiving.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of people ask and ask and ask, but they're not grateful for what they have. So that the gifts come, but they fall off on the wayside, and somebody else maybe will pick them up. But if you're asking, you need to be open to receiving, and that it does come. Gratefulness opens that door to receiving.
So even start like, thank you for being here on Earth for us,
Thank you.
and thank you for taking the time to listen to me.
Thank you for everything you've brought me so far.
Yeah.
And can you bring me such and such else? And then also, the angels do not go by time. Don't go by Earth time. So it's not like you can say, okay, now this afternoon I want such and such. It's just that you have to be open to receiving whenever it is that you are ready to receive, and when the angels are able to bring it to you.
And what is the time that the angels work by?
Good question. Certainly not by my time, but what the angels tell me is that when they are, if they say in about 6 months such and such will happen, that's angel timing, they call it. And so that means when a person has gone through the events that they need to go through before that thing in 6 months is going to happen. If they go through those events more quickly, that thing can come sooner. It could come maybe in 2 months. If they go through the events more slowly, it could come in a year. So that's what they call angel timing.
Oh, you are describing subjective time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's up to, it's in the field of relativity. Who is ready sooner gets it sooner.
Yes.
Who takes more time, well, that makes sense, Yeah, you're ready for something, you receive it. If not, you keep working until you get it.
Until you're ready for it, because if you receive something before you're ready for it, it would just be wasted.
So now, so I have to keep an eye for the commercial time. But a question is, when angels come to you, how do you talk to them?
Just like I would talk to you. Yeah, just like they are in the room with me. They're right beside me, behind me, in front of me. Just the way I would talk to you. Except I would say to them, if I'm asking them for something, I would say, can you please help me with something that I'm moving forward on already? And if I don't know what I'm doing, I just say, please help me to, figure out the right thing to do today, or how to help this person in a better way.
Yes, so we'll talk after the break. We'll try to figure out if you talk to angels in French or in Spanish or in English.
ਨਵਿਆਂ ਵਰਗਾ ਜੂ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲਸ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਰੇ ਟਾਇਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਔਨ ਦਾ ਸਪਾਟ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ, ਨੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ, ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜਸਪਾਲ ਮਾਨ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 4168195152 ਜਾਂ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਧੁੱਗਾ 9054520111। ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲ ਸੈਂਟਰ।
Float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea. Long way from home, on the boulevard of
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Well, we're still here continuing the show about the angels. And before the break, I was asking Jill if the angels that she's speaking with speak French or English or Spanish. Obviously, we are on a multilingual continent, so what are the languages that the angels speak?
Well, they always speak to me in English because that's the only language I know. But they tell me that they could speak any language, anywhere, anytime. So they're multilingual, but we don't have to be. We can just speak to them in our own language. But what I do want to say is when you speak to your angels in your head, your guardian angels hear you, and God, if you're speaking to God, and then when you speak out loud, all your teaching angels can hear you, and all the light beings who are around to help you, because they don't have access unless you give them, purposely give them access to the inside of your head, which I don't.
Okay, keep your head for yourself.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking out loud, and it doesn't have to be really loud. If you're in a area with other people, like you can just sort of whisper it under your breath. Angels, please help me with such and such.
These days, people think that you speak on the cell phone, like they look like, where's the cell phone?
Yeah.
Maybe it's that
there
little
you
thing
go.
on the air. You see people
Right.
talking on the street. Right now, we are not concerned. That
Right.
helps, because you can talk anywhere you are, and it's not like, do you have a problem?
Yeah.
Now, you heard angels when you were little, and then you've gone through your stages and went back to listening to the angels, and then talking with the angels. And you had people around her saying, who are you talking to? And they don't see the angels. Were you ever concerned that they could say that there's something wrong with?
Well, I didn't really, I don't speak out loud when there's people around. Just, if I'm in the
Okay.
car and I, decide to talk to them, then I'll talk to them out loud. But I was thinking of a particular time when, before I knew much about the angels, before I started the meditation, before I started really being focused on speaking to angels and communicating with them, I would do like meditations, and one time, I'm getting off topic here a little bit, but I had this amazing meditation where I just my being left my body, and I was up in the universe, and I knew there was so much knowledge out there and wisdom that I think that's what really spurred me on to start really, because I knew the angels could bring that to me, this total wisdom, and it's like I knew everything there ever was or ever would be, and then I came back into my body, and just that's all I remember now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't remember any of that amazing wisdom, but that's when I started thinking, this is really important, to be able to connect with that universal knowledge and wisdom that is so vast.
And then you go to a doctor and you ask, what do you do for your pastime? And you say, I'm talking to the angels. Okay. Are you concerned that the doctor may think you have a problem?
Yes.
And what do you do with that?
And before, before I learned to line them up in meditation and listen to one at a time, it was like a party in my head. There were all kinds of
You
voices.
say, okay, now one at a time.
And I was starting to think, well, what is wrong with me? And then I did meet a woman who was an angel reader, and she said to me immediately, she said, you have so many angels around your head, you'd have to be deaf not to hear them. And I said, oh, that's what they are. Phew!
You could hear the party, yeah.
Because they were always beautiful, beautiful messages and everything, but it was just so hard to hear one from the other. So that's really important, too, to be able to line them up and listen to them one at a time. But I don't talk to doctors about this. Except my doctor is amazing. She comes to me for sessions. I had my workshops in her place, so she's totally into that.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. Now, now people say, do I go to that doctor who listens to the angels? No, it's just I'm pushing the subject because these days it is insane to not listen to the angels.
You are correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we'll talk in the next segment about,
ਨਵਿਆਂ ਵਰਗਾ ਜੂ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲਸ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਰੇ ਟਾਇਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਔਨ ਦਾ ਸਪਾਟ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ, ਨੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ, ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜਸਪਾਲ ਮਾਨ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 4168195152 ਜਾਂ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਧੁੱਗਾ 9054520111। ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲ ਸੈਂਟਰ।
Float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea. Long way from home, on the boulevard of
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Hello again, we're happy you are with us. We are talking with Jill about the angels. And before the break, I was pushing the subject a little bit, kind of, okay, are you not concerned? So you're one of the lucky people who have a doctor who listens to them. That reminds me of a joke, like a person goes to the doctor, says, doctor, I cannot get rid of this bee. The bee comes with me everywhere and I cannot get rid of it. And the doctor goes like, and why do you chase it towards me? It's like, so that makes a good, reality is that from the forces that wanted to put a barrier to the evolution and to the perceptiveness of the multidimensional reality, there's this, okay, let's make them feel that there's something wrong with them. Let's make others feel or think that there's something wrong with them, to make it as hard as possible, to have the courage to communicate our more extended and much more important reality, which is the guiding reality, the empowering reality. Matter wouldn't hold together without the divine. So we wouldn't have the bodies without the divine. And then to say, oh, you communicate with the divine, is something wrong with you? Something is wrong when for people, and there are effects on health and many things in life when they don't communicate with the divine. So that barrier that was put was made less significant because more and more people communicate with the divine, more and more people listen to the Spirit of God, listen to the angels, listen to God, listen to Jesus. There's so much where people are comfortable actually to communicate. And it's almost the difference, people who communicate versus others who don't. It's almost the difference between somebody who doesn't hear, somebody who hears. Somebody who doesn't see and somebody who sees. So it's the healthy communication is very important, but being able to see, you can see the flowers, you can see the trees, you can see the children, you can see the angels. It's a capacity.
It is.
It is a capacity, and that's why I was pushing it a little bit. But in terms of the languages, coming back to the languages, see, looks like the angels did not get caught into the Tower of Babel. The universal language that they master allows them to understand any language. Same thing for the souls. I can have a Chinese soul communicate with me in Romanian, and that person in China whose soul communicates may not know that there is something that's called Romania or Romanian. So in that sense, looks like you're not very troubled by the fact that somebody could say that there's something wrong with you if you listen to the angels. How did you get away with that?
It took me a long time to get to that point.
All right. Okay.
Maybe
Maybe we can make it easy for other people without them hallucinating and thinking they are angels. That's different. But usually if they hallucinate, they may not feel very, very well. Yeah.
I guess I just really know so much. Like I know that I know that I know
And
that
you
they
know
are
it's right.
angels, and I know it's right. And it took me a while to get there, and I understand that other people are, that would take them maybe a while. Angel timing, hopefully not too long, as long as it took me, but to just know, it's just this feeling inside that I have to do this.
How long did it take you?
Well, I started doing kind of angel readings for my friends, and they told their friends, and then they told their friends, and it started to expand that way. But still, at work, I didn't say anything to anybody for a long time. But now, I'm trying to think, I guess about 2-3 years ago, maybe, I mentioned it at work, and some of the people were very...
ਨਵਿਆਂ ਵਰਗਾ ਜੂ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲਸ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਰੇ ਟਾਇਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਔਨ ਦਾ ਸਪਾਟ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ, ਨੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ, ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜਸਪਾਲ ਮਾਨ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 4168195152 ਜਾਂ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਧੁੱਗਾ 9054520111। ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲ ਸੈਂਟਰ।
Float me on the China Sea, Float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea. Long way from home, on the boulevard of
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
Yeah, that too, we're talking about the angels with Jill Michelle. There are two major issues that people might have, generally speaking, when it comes to communicate with anything unseen. One, they have to make sure that they communicate with the good ones, with the right ones. And I'm sure that that was a concern for you, and you have to understand how to tell the difference. And the other one, to make sure that people don't think that they have a problem or that they don't think there's something problem with them. So those are two kind of experiences that you had. I would like to hear what is your take on how do you encourage people to tell the difference and to feel safe?
When I am speaking to the true angels, I have a sense of inner joy and love surrounding me. If there's say a fake entity or whatever you want to call it, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, it's like, ooh, what was that? Yeah, so we have to have that discerning ability to know. But for the beginner, definitely that when the angels are speaking and you just feel that beautiful energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also what they say makes sense.
Definitely.
As you look at how much sense in the context of everything that you know. Even if it's something totally new, you still can see how you can get there. Yeah.
Yes, at the beginning there were, because when you're open to everything. You know, you can speak to the animals and to the angels and to anything that comes. So I had to make a very definite point of saying, I only speak to angels. And a good way to say it is to say, I only speak to the angels of the 12th level and higher. And then you're only going to get in, you know, the top angels.
But you've done that after enough experience
after
to
learning,
know. So how did you adjust to where you speak about the angels and where you don't? Like right now you speak to the whole country. Anybody in Canada who will watch Vision TV, they can see you talking about the angels and your eyes are shining and you have no problem with that. You're happy to share. Where are some places where you don't feel that you speak or you need to take some time before you speak about that kind of experience?
Well, I can feel really if people are open to it or not.
All right.
So I just speak about it when I'm around like-minded people. And I can discern that really in a person.
But then the other ones who are not need the help to start being so. Like it's easy to talk to those who are like-minded, but those who are not like-minded, they need at least the opportunity. So that's where you take a chance. You may risk. They may say that, but you say, okay, that's all right. They're not there yet, and just let them be. But you still have to take a chance. What do you think?
Depending on the vibrational level of the person. Oh yeah, I will absolutely say things to people who are just, you know, getting to the verge of Yeah, and then they'll say, "Oh no, I don't. Oh, I don't believe in that." And but I can see their mind is working. You know, even though they don't know it, their subconscious or whatever is working, saying, "Okay, this is a warning for you."
Yes, so after the commercial break.
ਨਵਿਆਂ ਵਰਗਾ ਜੂ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਹੀ ਨਾਮ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ, ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲਸ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਟਰੱਕ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੋ, ਸਾਰੇ ਟਾਇਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਣਗੇ, ਫ੍ਰੀ ਅਲਾਈਨਮੈਂਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਜਾਏਗੀ। ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ ਔਨ ਦਾ ਸਪਾਟ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੈ, ਨੋ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ, ਤਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਟਰੱਕ ਦੇ ਮਾਲਕ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਜਸਪਾਲ ਮਾਨ ਦਾ ਨੰਬਰ 4168195152 ਜਾਂ ਇੰਦਰਜੀਤ ਧੁੱਗਾ 9054520111। ਨਿਊ ਮਿਲੇਨੀਅਮ ਟਰੱਕ ਸੇਲ ਸੈਂਟਰ।
Float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea, float me on the China Sea. Long way from home, on the boulevard of
ਮੋਗਾ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਐਂਡ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ 30 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮਿਸੀਸਾਗਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ ਤੇ ਫਲੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹੁਣ ਬਰੈਂਪਟਨ 'ਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਖੋਲ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ। ਵਧੀਆ ਸਰਵਿਸ ਤੇ ਘੱਟ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਾਰਪੇਟ, ਹਾਰਡਵੁੱਡ ਤੇ ਲੈਮੀਨੇਟ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰਨ ਲਈ ਫੋਨ ਕਰੋ 905 848 2222।
We are facing the greatest event yet to come. We'll see changes that are of such magnitude, and we'll see beyond miracles. We'll see events that will show us that it is not business as usual. And in this process of preparing ourselves for that moment, in this process, different people have different helpers. There are people who relate more to Jesus. There are people who relate more to deities. People who relate more to their gods, like the Hindu population that relates to the gods, to the gurus. Everybody needs somebody to guide them and help them. They cannot be alone in something this big. And the divine concern is continuously that people would receive good guidance. So when one is concerned that an angel could give them the wrong information, they have to know that the angel is not alone, because there's God there who will say, hey, angel, do a good job there. At the same time, people have to know, like you're saying, that they're not alone. Now, one thing that happens with the massive change that helped us enter into the new system, leaving behind the wrongs of the past, is that in the new system, there are no, even in the transition to the new system, there are no fallen angels. We don't need to worry about angels being a problem, because the fallen angels are dealt with. It's part of the work was to get out of the way the fallen angels, reform them. So we don't have to worry about that. But one thing that happens now more than ever is that there's a presence of the high rank of angels, extraordinarily competent, extraordinarily reliable and well-intended. And I suppose that that's what you're talking about when you're mentioning talking for those from the 12 and up. Okay. Are you talking 12th dimension or 12th class of?
12th level of angels.
Level of,
they
yeah.
call it.
So you're talking about the choirs of angels. So all right. So what do they have that the number 3 doesn't have yet?
Information, knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah. The higher the level you go to, the more information they have. The more they can see the big picture of your life. I did want to mention too,
Yes.
that people, while they're learning how to speak to the angels, how to listen to them, they can follow their gut feeling, because the guardian angel will always give you, if you're heading towards trouble, you always they give you that gut feeling, and then you can follow that, to keep yourself out of trouble.
Well, we're really happy that you joined us, and I'm sure that our viewers are happy to hear that as the holiday season is here, they can enjoy knowing that there are good angels all around, and we'll be happy to hear your questions. And if you wish to know more about Jill, then you look at the website, and we'll be happy to hear from you.
Sanda.